All right, so I alluded earlier to lines being parallel. And I think this graph here, down here on the lower right, should look familiar. It's the same graph that I had earlier. And the point that I made is that each of these lines are parallel because they all have the same slope. Okay? So we had lines alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. They all had the same slope, but they had different y-intercepts. So it was those different y-intercepts, at 5, at 3, at -2, and -4 that spread them apart. So parallel lines are lines in the same plane that never intersect. They have equal slopes and different y-intercepts. And so if two lines, if let's say if the slopes of two lines uh, are parallel, then their slopes will be equal. Parallel lines have different intercepts. Okay, so that's kind of given here by this example. Perpendicular lines, by contrast, these are lines in the same plane that have one intersection that forms a 90-degree angle. So you'll see here in this picture, we've got slope, we have line alpha going down this way, and then we've got line beta going up this way. And they have a 90-degree angle between them. So having a 90-degree angle between them means that they are perpendicular. Now, two lines are perpendicular to each other when their slopes are negative reciprocals. So a reciprocal means that you switch the numerator and denominator. That was a principle we discussed earlier in the chapter with fractions. So a reciprocal means that you rotate the numerator and denominator, and then this negative part means you change the sign. So two slopes are perpendicular if they are negative reciprocals of each other. The product of perpendicular slopes will always be -1. So if you multiply two slopes together and their slopes, if that product comes out to -1, then they are negative reciprocals of each other. So in this example over here to the right, you can see the slope of line alpha is -2/3, and the slope of line beta is 3/2. So let me kind of show you here. So if we've got -2/3, this is the slope of line alpha. Now, if we take 2/3 and we rotate the numerator and denominator, we get 3/2. And then we just take the negative of what we've got there. So the negative of a negative would be a positive. So this is the slope of beta. Okay, so that's how you determine, that's how you create a perpendicular line, is you take the slope of one line, and then you just do the negative reciprocal of it to get the slope of a perpendicular line. And to kind of test and see if these two are perpendicular, you can just do -2/3, multiply that times +3/2, and see if that equals -1. And so 3 cancels with 3, 2 cancels with 2, and -1 equals -1. So that's true. So these two slopes are perpendicular. They are negative reciprocals.